So it seems there are two people in FBXW not too happy with me at the moment. With me and my friends. That would be Chris Michaels and David Rivera. They're not too happy right now because of what happened at the YTWFX One Weekend Only show. And it seems Chris Michaels is very angry. I saw his comments about me. What, Chris Michaels? Did you think that you could just post stuff on the internet and it wouldn't make its way to me? Well, I saw it. Got a good laugh out of it though. You said a lot of things. And that seems to be your MO. You said that I'm despicable. That I'm a horrible person. But then you crossed the line saying that I'm a disgrace to this title and to TG's legacy. Let me clue you in, Chris Michaels, on a little history lesson. Let's take you down memory lane. Back in the YTWF days, back in those days, TG and I were rivals. We had a rivalry that is historic, much like other wrestling rivals like HBK and Bret Hart or The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin. But they were not part of the YTWF. And come to think of it, Chris Michaels, I don't think you were part of the YTWF now that I think about it. Your other comments that you had written were okay, but to disparage this belt and me, that's when you crossed the line. Now you got a lot of different monikers you've called yourself. You've gone by Boston Fan, The Stalker, The One, and now you want to call yourself the Franchise Player? Franchise Player? Ha! Chris Michaels, you are witnessing a franchise. A true franchise! Because way back before the FBXW, there was a franchise known as Lethal Injection. It was myself, one RD, and our brothers, the forefathers. The forefathers of all of this. Triple H Game 99 and Doczilla. They were the forefathers. And this Lethal Syndicate is the second chapter in the long storied history of Lethal Injection. What, Chris Michaels, did you think that you could run your mouth about being the franchise player, about being so great, and poking the bear, and the bear wouldn't decide that they've had enough? Well, at the One Weekend Only show, we finally had enough. We decided the trap needed to be sprung at that very moment. Luckily for you, you were gone, conveniently from the ring. But your brother, David Rivera, was in the ring, celebrating retaining the tag team titles. So I decided, show him and show you just who the hell you're messing with. You are messing with a storied franchise. Lethal Injection has one motto: TCB, take care of business. Every title we've set our sights on, we've won. And the Lethal Syndicate is following the same teachings of Game and Darkzilla. We've been back at the House of Gold, the Palace of Wisdom, and we have been studying and getting more tips. Because the Lethal Syndicate is going to be the next big name in E-Fed wrestling. Hell, look at how popular Lethal Injection's become. Even after Doc and Game have retired. There's now a Super Bowl called Super Bowl LI. And you want to know why? You want to know why the NFL calls it Super Bowl LI? You might think because it's Super Bowl 51. That's just their excuse. It's because Game and Doc confronted Roger Goodell and said it was time that the NFL respected Lethal Injection. And Goodell decided to bow to the pressure because he didn't want to face a beatdown from Lethal Injection. And it seems that you boys, the NC Connection, just had to keep pushing your luck, didn't you? You cost One and RD a shot at the tag titles because we know you're running scared. We know that you realize that your time in the hourglass, the sand, is slowly filtering downward. And David Rivera, I see that you, just like your brother, have been typing on the internet talking about how that this won't stand the beatdown and that how you're gonna get help. Well, you can recruit all you want, but let me tell you something. If you think that we're just resting on our laurels and that if you bring in another member, we can't find somebody also to bring in from our past, well, let me tell you, we've been talking to people from our past, and you might see another member somewhere down the road, but that's all I'm going to say at the moment because negotiations haven't started yet. But who knows? But you see, you two boys seem to be worried about all of the Lethal Syndicate when you should be more worried about RD and the One. Because they're the ones gunning for your tag team titles. You boys need to focus because you started pissing off the franchise, and when we finally had enough, we decided to make a statement at your expense. But, David Rivera, you want to talk trash about the Lethal Syndicate? You should ask yourself, though, can you really truly trust your brother, Chris Michaels? Can you trust him? Where was he when we were in the ring beating you down? He was conveniently nowhere to be found. So, it seems the NC Connection has some work to do in their house. And you boys better think long and hard the next time you have something to say about the Lethal Syndicate, because we took it easy on you, David. We took it easy on you this time. That was a warning. But you keep running your mouth, keep talking, you and Chris. And next time it's not going to be so easy. We are going to take everything that you have worked for. We are going to take those belts and bring them back where they belong. We're going to present them at the House of Gold to hang on the mantle. as another symbol of Lethal Injection's Lethal Syndicate and our domination of the E-Fed world. NC Connection. Seems that you're about to be disconnected. And I've got one last thing to say. Chris Michaels and David Rivera. You two like to talk about me. How about you meet me in the ring? I don't care what kind of match it is. I don't care if it's you two against me or one-on-one. It doesn't matter. Because I'm going to prove to you why I have this title belt. So you want it? Come and get it. But I can guarantee you that won't end well for the either two of you. So Chris Michaels, David Rivera, are you going to step up or are you going to step off?